Well, you clicked on the right video. What's going on, YouTubers? This is your favorite onion with another State of Decay 2 Daybreak weapons review. And in this review, I'm going to be looking at the 8th unlockable weapon, the CLEO Sharpshooter Rifle. Now, although the stats and specs for the weapon speak for themselves, I will be giving my evaluation on the weapon's abilities in combat. This will involve tactics that are best employed while the weapon is equipped, my conclusive opinion, and an overall score. So evaluation will take place on 4 main fronts: ammunition economy, crowd control, pressure combat, and the most optimal role of the wielder. Now, opening up with the sharpshooter's ammunition economy, the CLEO Sharpshooter is a semi-automatic marksman rifle containing a mere 8 rounds. Given that CLEO ammo packs come with 32 rounds, this equates to 4 mags per ammo pack. Although the mag capacity is extremely small, the damage output is somewhat compensatory. Most connected shots will consequently result in a kill against regular Zeds. Looking at the crosshairs of this weapon, the accuracy is very high, but this also means that a user must be absolutely sure with every shot, and may consequently find themselves making errors frequently in fast-paced situations. This does hurt the potential score for ammo economy, but misjudging a shot on a high accuracy and high range weapon is left mainly up to the skill of the wielder. Additionally, the sharpshooter has a second magnification, which demands its use pattern to be similar to that of the CLEO blast rifle, but this will be explored later. Taking a quick look at armored Zeds, the sharpshooter rifle has decent potential to kill without having to remove the helmet first. But this tactic is not recommended, as there are only 8 rounds, without a guarantee of a kill. The small mag size creates a major penalty for wasted ammo. Looking at juggernauts, the damage output is the only aspect about this weapon that makes it useful against them. The small mag size and slow reload speed, however, make its use against a juggernaut frustratingly difficult, especially when there are other Zeds around. Despite this, with mostly exclusive fire, the sharpshooter will take approximately 4 mags or 1 CLEO ammo pack to take down a juggernaut, still making an economical choice for eliminating juggernauts. More of this will be covered in pressure combat. Otherwise, given the range, accuracy, damage output, and fire rate, this weapon has a rather decent standing in ammo economy. Alright, so now moving on to crowd control. Although crowd control makes up a relatively small frequency of occurrences, the chances of its need increases with each wave, and performing it properly can be the difference between progressing to the next wave or your technician dying a premature death. The CLEO Sharpshooter Rifle, being a high-accuracy, semi-automatic weapon with a low mag capacity, severely hampers its ability to handle a crowd quickly. The one-shot capability is there, but trying to perform this quickly with several lateral targets will be very stressful on the weapon and the user, as it is very easy to miss individual targets. On top of that, the reload speed is rather unfriendly, and with ensuing crowds, the sharpshooter can at most hinder crowds, but won't eliminate their inevitable onslaught. One little bonus the sharpshooter has is the ability to eliminate multiple targets with a single round, provided they are in filed formation. This loophole collapses with the presence of armored Zeds, but the impact is high enough to floor them easily. Furthermore, the weapon is semi-automatic, but can still be fired quickly. Provided user error is kept to a minimum, taking down a crowd is possible, but surely not ideal for this weapon. The need for crowd control is usually the result of a lack of effective pressure combat, which will be our next discussion. So pressure combat refers to how efficiently a ranged weapon can be used to eliminate targets in multiple areas, or how well said weapon can complement your ability to eliminate multiple scattered enemies from various ranges. The CLEO Sharpshooter's range is virtually limitless. The accuracy is very high, and with the second magnification, this weapon has a high potential to minimize the volume of targets that close in. Additionally, killing in one shot is very simple. The main limitations lie in mag capacity and reload speed. With only 8 rounds, it is difficult to maintain a consistent resistance to the oncoming pressure of scattered Zeds. Although a reliable hit pattern is extremely helpful, the high accuracy demands much more of the user's dexterity and discretion, ultimately putting major stress on their efficiency in taking down scattered targets. Adding in the slow reload speed and regularly occurring armored Zeds means that the sharpshooter can perform pressure combat for a short period of time. This will result in a heavy reliance on one's melee weapon. Doing so, however, squanders the weapon's strengths. A major challenge with pressure combat is the presence of a juggernaut. Similar to the CLEO assault shotgun, exclusive focus is absolutely necessary if the wielder is going to take down a juggernaut efficiently. The short mag capacity and slow reload will be a major frustration, and the best way to compensate for that is to take a defensive position away from other Zeds while putting damage on the juggernaut. Ideally, a wise user would take advantage of range and accuracy to put as much damage as possible on a juggernaut before they close in. But this will have to be done with discretion. With the limited ammo and slow reload, the juggernaut will take a considerable amount of time to eliminate without explosives, which downplays the sharpshooter's efficiency in pressure combat. Even in emergency circumstances, every negative aspect becomes exacerbated. This weapon was not created for emergencies, but rather to deter them. So now we're going to move on to role designation. Given everything about the CLEO Sharpshooter Rifle discussed so far, I would designate this weapon for a defensive role. The effective range, high accuracy, and high power makes the weapon a reliable means for killing Zeds easily. But given how small the mag capacity is, and the amount of stress it invites due to the tight crosshairs and slow reload, a wielder would have an unnecessarily hard time fighting outside the barricades, especially when there is a juggernaut or even a high volume of Zeds. However, the economy of this weapon is in good standing, and will allow the weapon to last a considerable length of time. This weapon serves more of a deterrence or preventative role. It slows the progression of Zeds instead of putting a complete halt to them. Now, for this magnificent onion's opinion, this was easily the most frustrating weapon I have ever used. I enjoy a weapon with reliable crosshairs and a good range. After all, snipers have always been a favorite of mine. But in this game mode, this particular sniper is extremely difficult to use. At least that is the case when playing solo. The range, accuracy, and power is great, but having to use the limited ammo to defend the entire map is a little too much for the weapon to handle. At least on a team of aggressors, this weapon will fit in very nicely as more of a supportive role, taking out key targets or providing cover for those fighting beyond the barricades. The weapon is not bad, but just not suitable for Daybreak gameplay. But given everything discussed, out of a score of 5, I give this weapon a fair 3 out of 5. Hey, you reached the end of the video. Great job. Now hit subscribe.